the Prajalika Foundation, Srimati Rupa Neok, to give the introductory speech.
Good afternoon, everybody. Namaskar. আজি Convention Training Center, Prajalika Area Level Federation and Cooperative Society Limited এই উদ্যোগত অনুষ্ঠিত হোৱা Women Empowerment to Development আলোচনা চক্ৰখনিত উপস্থিত হোৱা আজি এই সেমিনাৰখনৰ সভাপতি মাননীয় জগদীশ শৰ্মা, Deputy Registrar of Cooperative Society, অৱসৰপ্ৰাপ্ত মাননীয় Dr. Mohammad Bhuyeji, the founder of International Institute of Economy, মাননীয় Dr. Dunia Ahmed Abdullah Ahmed, the co-founder of International Institute of Inspiration Economy, আৰু ত্ৰিপুৰাই উত্তৰ পূৰ্বাঞ্চলৰ co-ordinator Mr. Paul Kakoti প্ৰমুখ্যে বিশিষ্ট বক্তা ডক্টৰ লাবণ্য বুঢ়াগোহাঁই আৰু পিংকি শইকীয়া দত্ত উপস্থিত সকলো বিশিষ্ট অতিথি আৰু প্ৰজ্বলিকাৰ সমূহ সদস্যা তথা আৰু সহযোগী প্ৰজ্বলিকাৰ সভাপতি আৰু আজি সেমিনাৰখনৰ সেক্ৰেটাৰী হিচাপে মই ৰূপা নেওগে সশ্ৰদ্ধা প্ৰণিপাত জ্ঞাপন কৰিলোঁ। অতিথিগণ, দূৰ সুদূৰৰ পৰা অহা ডক্টৰ ভুয়েজী আৰু ডক্টৰ দুনিয়া আহমেদে আমাৰ নাৰীসকলৰ কল্যাণ সাধনৰ অৰ্থে এক মহান উদ্দেশ্য লৈ আমাৰ ওচৰত থিয় দিছেহি। আমাৰ পৰম সৌভাগ্য যে মিষ্টাৰ পল কাকতিৰ সহযোগত আজি আমি প্ৰজ্বলিকাই তেখেতসকলৰ সৈতে মুকলিকৈ বাৰ্তা বিনিময়ৰ সুযোগ এটি পাইছোঁ। আপোনাসৱৰ সকলোৰে সহযোগত আমি চেষ্টা কৰিম তেখেতসকলৰ দিহা পৰামৰ্শৰ এটি নতুন লক্ষ্যলৈ আগুৱাই যাবলৈ। বাকী ফলাফল ফলদাতা বিভুৰ হাতত হ'লেও কিন্তু তাৰ আগতে আমাক লাগিব অসাধ্য সাধন কৰাৰ বন আৰু আত্মবিশ্বাস। বেছি কথা নকওঁ, আজি আমাৰ এই সেমিনাৰখনত উপস্থিত থাকি আপোনাসৱে আমাৰ উদ্দেশ্যক সাফল্য দিয়াৰ বাবে যি আগ্ৰহ আৰু সহযোগিতা আগবঢ়াইছে তাৰ বাবে সকলোলৈ মোৰ উষ্ম আদৰণি আৰু কৃতজ্ঞতা জনাই মোৰ এই আদৰণি ভাষণ মই সামৰিছোঁ। ধন্যবাদ।
Thank you. I now request Dr. Lavanya Buragohain to come and deliver the keynote address.
Keynote address, see the retired principal of the college. She has been retired and she is doing social work.
Just take 2 minutes of your for an interview.
Sure. For me? No?
Both of
Yes.
you? Yeah.
After. Sorry, after we get the talk or
No.
we start with her first or
I will just call the media person.
One by one.
Yeah,
So we
one.
we go now?
Will I call there?
Our chief guest, Guest of honor Dr. Mohammad Bahedi, special guest Dr. Binda Ahmed,
Only Dr. Ahmed, Ahmed special guest.
Ahmed.
I'm not special guest.
Guest of honor Dr. Mohammad Bahedi, special guest Dr. Binda Ahmed, and all members of the Projolica. I, on behalf of the Projolica, I am the advisor of Projolica, and offer my heartiest gratitude to all, especially to the Bohedi and Binda Ahmed, who are coming
Especially for
from
Bohedi.
very
Then
distant
Jonia.
place. And with us, we feel proud that their presence give a life as a woman to work for the woman. Today's seminar's main theme is Women Empowerment Development IIE workshop, with the sub-theme Development of Women Self-Confidence, Providing Advanced Ideas of Education, Women Entrepreneurship and Opportunity, Market for Women and Skills, Empowerment of Women in the rural areas, breaking stereotype images of the society and fight against the toxic masculinity. Before I go into main theme, I try to cast a few present picture of our women that are going on in our country. The 17th Lok Sabha, which was constituted last week, has the most female members of parliament, even with the number being 77 out of 542. That means 40% of the total number of seats. The last Lok Sabha constituted in 1952 had 5% female members. As per official data of the last census conducted in 2011, female literacy stands at 65.46 from 8.86% in 1951. National Sample Survey report says that in the wake of liberalization, privatization, and globalization that started in India since 90, women entrepreneurship has been growth. Aided by overall change in perception, better access to education, finance, improvement of infrastructure, rise by role models like Indra Nooyi of Pepsi, Kiran Majumdar, so this 40% business in India are owned by the women. Smita Mandhana is now first woman cricket batswoman in the world. And Jula Goswami is the number 1 bowler in the world. Coming back to more traditional aspect, we are celebrating Durga Puja and Diwali with pomp and show. Families these days are encouraging their daughters, sisters, and wives to go beyond the 4 walls of their houses, study and get a career. What I said now reflect the picture of an Indian which is marching ahead. However, before making a final statement on the issue of women and development, let's look at the data and information I give a little bit closely. In a country having over 130 crores population, with around 48% being female, 716 female candidates contested but 77 women. Direct proportional representative is difficult, but the gap between 48% population and 40% MPs is worth thinking. Also, what thinking is why there is a long jump for over decades. Over the Women Reservation Bill, which calls for 33% reservation for women in the parliament and state legislature. It's not that the women once elected will ignore issue of men. We still have a long way to go to reach reasonable amount gender equality in politics. Secondly, while men's literacy at 1951 was 21.16%, today it stands at 82.14%. When it comes to encouraging entrepreneurship, the world average is much higher than that of India. Women still face difficulties, especially in the traditionally male-dominated sector. All entrepreneur growth for women is mainly concentrated in metropolis cities like Bangalore, Delhi, Chennai, Mumbai, Hyderabad, with a less or nil development in Tier 2 or Tier 3 urban areas and rural areas. In terms of employment, female employee has given down 35% in 2005 to 26% in 2018. That is, it goes down. A recent study by online career and recruitment solution provider Monster.com in March 2019 said that women in India earn only 19% salary, less than their male counterpart. The study said gender parity in around 35% for highly skilled occupation. As per All India Survey of Department of Higher Education, under SRI Ministry, in higher education except post-graduation and MPhil, male over-dominated women everywhere. National Sample Survey in 2014 stated percentage age of female graduate in rural area in 2.2% in compared to 30% in urban areas. The BCCI, who is the authorized body for cricket, in its new salary contracts, announced earlier this year rupees 5 crores to grade 1 male cricketer and rupees 50 lakhs to grade 1 women cricketer. Both Mandela and Buchani belongs to this club. Ironically, Virat Kohli, captain of men's team and #1 batsman in men's one-day cricket, has been allotted to a new category called A+, with salary of 7 crores. In the land of goddess Durga, Lakshmi and Saraswati, even after some real innovative legal amendment in respect of the women has taken, as per latest reports of National Crime Record Bureau, India's average rate of reported death case is about 6.3 on 1 lakh population. What is more threatening is that 99% of such cases go unreported. While women have gone beyond traditional career option and made remarkable achievement, a woman is still judged to a great extent for whether she can cook, how fair in her complexion, black or white. Meanwhile, the guys we ingrain teaching like boys don't cry, men are supposed to be better in a family. Such a believing system in society, proved by toxic masculinity, finds it difficult to accept an independent and strong woman. As such, women face violence. Traditionally, women of Assam and other Northeast regions have had much freedom and respect than their counterparts in other parts of the country. History shows Assamese women are cultivated fields, woven cloths, and likes Konoklada gave their life during freedom struggle. But reality today is that as compared to 67.27 women, 78.81 men are literate in Assam. Crime against women has been steadily increasing in our state in the last 6 to 7 years. Summing up all the examples given so far, we may say that women's upliftment from cycles of patriarchy and oppression present a complex picture. While we have made progress in some front, we are still failing in some front. Our understanding towards women's problem and solution need to change. Issue of extending educational outreach, gender-sensitive curriculum, strict implementation of laws, mandatory equal pay for equal work, enhance women's mental health to increase confidence, gender sensitization. Campaigns should be at the forefront rather than just giving jobs to women, framing laws, setting up schools. All women may not possess same talent or is highly qualified, but as citizens of a political system where they transpose of social system where they play various roles as a career giver, nurse, and of economic system where they contributed as earner, service givers, and major consumers, and above all as creation of that same Almighty as men, women should be given the chance to enjoy equal rights, skills, and opportunity to find their own calling in life. They should be given power to act freely, be full and equal member of the society, making important decisions regarding their marriage, parenthood, and finance. Any nation hoping to develop can never achieve its target by ignoring its women. Women empowerment is the core of development. No country can afford to use half of its resources and potential in its journey towards development. Women comprises almost half of our country's demography. Women empowerment is not just for women. It is for the entire society. In short, our nation can reach pinnacles of prosperity if the women of our country can live a dignified life and be given the opportunity to unleash their potential. I hope we can reach consensus on many such key issues pertaining to the women empowerment during the course of paper presentation and deliberation. I would like to end my speech by quoting a few words of Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, who said, "You can tell the condition of a nation by looking at the status of its own." Thank you. Thank you.
So much, Dr. Lavanya. I now request Srimati Pinky Saikyadatta to deliver her speech.
A very good afternoon to everyone present over here. Distinguished guests, Dr. Buheji, Dr. Dunia Ahmed, Dr. Borgohai Ma'am, Secretary of the workshop, Mrs. Rupa Neu, Mr. Paul Kakoti, Event Coordinator, members of the Prajwalika, and participants from various places of Assam. First of all, I would like to say thank you to Rupa Ma'am, who has given me an opportunity to speak on women empowerment. Really, I am feeling honored to be here. So before going to the actual women empowerment, what is it, I would like to show a few slides on it. According to Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, I measure the progress of a community by the degree of progress which women have achieved. This is what the status of our Indian women. Do the women in our society is getting the status of this? These are few problems faced by women like domestic violence, early marriage, rape, teasing. Are the women or girls in our society are confident enough to fight against this type of problem? Assam women will not feel free unless and until they are independent, unless and until they know what they are having, whether they are educated or not, the skills they are having. They will feel free only if they are well educated, they are well trained. So, what is women empowerment? Women empowerment is the power given to a woman so that she can fight against the other, so that she is independent of other, so that she can enjoy her rights, so that she can enjoy the benefits in terms of resources, asset, income, and her own time. In other words, we can say it is the set of efforts or activities which are aimed mainly to change the mind of a young girl or mentality from can't do it to do it, so that she can enjoy her life successfully and beautifully. She can enjoy her life. Now, few principles of women empowerment. Provide the ticket to education, support girl and women in crisis, mentor a girl close to home, invest in a small business owner, use your voice to end preventable deaths of mother and children, help a new mom. So one by one, I'll go each point. Provide the ticket to education. It is found that in most area of the Assam tea garden or in village, girls are busy in fetching water. So instead of going fetching water, if we provide them with clean, safe and drinking water, they will be busy with they can have their education, they can go to the school, they can use their proper time. Support girl and women in crisis. We can provide them local staff for teaching, for education, for counseling and for medical care. So wherever they need, we can reach them anywhere. Mentor a girl child. The third principle says to mentor a girl child. With the right mentorship, with the help of a youth development program, we can engage them. Girls can take part in various activities for women empowerment so that those girls can help those girls can be mentored for some other also. So this initiative should be to the village. How remote it is doesn't matter, it should reach up to that level also. This is just a snapshot of World Vision Microloan. Through World Vision Microloan also we can help them. Quarterly, monthly or yearly, we can sponsor a girl child and we can help them a lot. Invest in a small business owner. This is the fourth principle. Invest in a small business owner. All they need a little help so that they can start their own business. They can start with a grocery shop also, or it may be handloom. Any kind of business they can start if we do a little help for them. Like in Assam, Maina automatic handloom. It is first introduced in Assam by Mr. Deepak Bhuya, a device of hand knitting machine, which is very easy to work with it. So with the help of proper training, if we train them properly, they can easily earn money with the help of this Maina automatic handloom. And it is used for men traditional dress, women traditional dress, and computerized embroidery service can be easily done in this machine. So these are prices mentioned because these machines are not too large amount. So if we provide these machines, if we provide them loans, then they can easily have this machine and they can start their own business so that they can be independent of the other. If they are independent means a girl child or a woman is independent means they can easily pull their family out of the poverty. Once they pull out of the poverty means they are helping their home. Once they are helping their home means they are helping the community. Community means ultimately the nation. So the education or whatever helping hand, if we provide them, it will be very beneficial for them. We have tea garden in Assam. Assam is rich of tea garden. It is well known for its quality of tea and natural beauty of tea garden as well. Total, it is founded 765 tea estates are there and 1 lakh smaller gardens are there. And of total, 570 million kilos of tea are produced in Assam only. According to this data is collected for the year 2030. And also, it is found that approximately 5 lakh permanent tea gardens are women only. But problem is there, we have to give some training. Women usually they used to put tobacco in the lower parts that create to fight against the hungry. But problem is that ulcer type of disease takes place. Then they are very alcoholic. Then the child marriage is generally seen in the garden area. Then they don't know about how much time between two child should be there. So proper training, if we awareness is required actually in those parts. So if we provide them this awareness, then I think that will be very beneficial for them. The next principle says help a new mom. We know that during after the delivery, few weeks or we can say months, it is very critical for a woman and also for their child also. So if we provide them with a bucket, cloth diapers or blankets or a container for clean water or it may soap, etc., then it will be very beneficial for them. Not only with materials, we can provide them with life-saving infant care training also. Use your voice to end preventable deaths of mothers and children. That means we have to, for this also, we have to provide them proper training so that there will be no deaths of mother and children. Now I am going to show few famous women from Assam. Dr. Sanjukta Parasar, the first and only lady IPS officer in Assam. Now she is serving in as a assistant commandant of Makum, Indian Police Service officer since 2006. We have also Rima Das. We are very proud of Ms. Rima Das, an Indian filmmaker best known for her film Village Rockstar. We all know about the Village Rockstar. Then also Bulbul can sing. She is also going to have a large number of awards she is getting, like screenplay, cinematography, best director, and many more. We have Mamoni Roysam Goswami Baido also. She was an Assamese editor, poet, professor, scholar and writer. She was the winner of the Sahitya Academy Award, Jnanpith Award and Principal Prince Claus Laureate Award also. We have Sanjukta Datta also. She is conferred with the prestigious Dada Saheb Phalke Excellence Award 2018 as a best fashion designer. Basically, she is engineer but turned to fashion designer. So, also she has showcased in various levels, Women's Era, Miss India, Mysore Fashion Week, Indian Beach Fashion Week, etc. We have Hima Das also. His nickname is Being Express. She holds the current Indian national record in 400 meter with a timing of 50.7 that she clocked at the 2018 Asian Games. So the purpose of this famous women from Assam I have shown, the main purpose is that with the right motivation, with the right encouragement and little monetary help, I'm sure that other women from Assam also can come up. With the right, only they need what help. Help from the proper training, if we give at the proper right time, then definitely they are going to shine in the future. And also I would like to say that half of the Assam population is women only and historically responsible for the future generation. So if we empower them physically, mentally, psychologically, then empower women build her family and community too, and became the real role model for the children and other too. So this is for all of us. See yourself, know yourself, celebrate yourself. The world is yours. Thank you.
Thank you, Pinky Sankhya Datta, for your enlightening speech. We shall now proceed to the seminar part. It will be chaired by Sri Jagdish Sharma, retired Deputy Registrar of Cooperative Societies, Govt of Assam. I hand over the stage to you, sir.
Everyone, respected honorable guests, women leaders, and all the people present here. Today, I, Varsha Kalita of Cotton University, would like to speak on women power of Assam. We know from different experts that development process in Assam is not same for men or women. The condition of women quite inferior as compared to the average woman in the world. Women enjoy better status in terms of decision-making power at the household level, but the situation is reversed in case of their financial autonomy. Women are sexually objectified, due to which they are thought to be limited only for the household chores. Yet we have come through instances where women cross all social norms and barriers and prove themselves in different fields. For example, Hima Das is an Indian sprint runner from Assam. Avishka Kashyap, the first commercial pilot from Assam. Rima Das is a filmmaker from Assam who known for her film Village Rockstar, which won several national and international awards. We know from development theories that highly empowered women would bring high level of human development through their contribution to the development process. Assam is not worst among major states of the Indian Union in terms of human development and gender equality, but it ranks quite low. Assam has a largely rural agrarian economy, which is characterized by high rate of work participation of women. Though female work participation rate are high, as it is subsistence farming, women are not benefit economically. According to Economic Survey, Assam 2009-10, women constitute 32.5% of all organized sectors workers against all organized sector workers. Against this, only 90% of all India in the same sector. Interestingly, since 1990s, women employment in the organized sector has been 30%, where majorities of women are employed by tea industries. Assam has the largest concentration of handloom in India. The handloom sector has long been traditional occupation for women in Assam. In earlier times, most of the women in Assam are expert in weaving. No two handloom and silk are exactly alike. Personality of the weaver, her hereditary skill, her sense of color and balance all help to create a unique product. Missing women, despite being engaged in household activities through the day, would spend some time on her loom every day. They make garments mainly for everyday use. Through handloom weaving, they also weave classy products for special occasion. Assamese women weavers have always been able to earn respect and appreciation from around the world for their work. Women though are working in different sectors, but most of them does not get an organized sector. In such unorganized sectors, staffs with daily or monthly paid salaries are not kept. As a result, the woman does not get appropriate working place and salaries according to their eligibility. Assam, Assam is the largest state among Northeast India. In spite of our natural resources and culture, the state lagging behind the rest of the country. The reason is none but the status of women in the state. Though the entire region, including Assam, is free from the sati pratha, female feticide, but the other forms of gender discrimination do exist. Education is the key factor in overcoming the barriers that women face and the basic tool for empowering women. But the educational status of women in Assam is poor as compared to the other states of the country. Yet, we all have seen that many Assamese women, after higher studying in different parts of the India and some even in different parts of the world, comes and works for the development of Assam. For example, Sanjukta Parasar is an IPS officer from Assam. She is widely recognized as the woman forefront of India's battle against Boer militants in Assam. As per 2001 census, the women literacy rate is 54.6. We can see from the census of 2011 that it rose from 54.6 to 67.27% in 2011. In Assam, women are getting education, but then also there is a lack of job opportunities for women. The women of Assam are very much talented and enthusiastic, so if they get the best opportunities, then they can succeed in their life. Thank you.
IEEE workshop. Before we begin, let me give a brief introduction. The International Institute of Inspiration Economy, IIIE, is part of the International Inspiration Economy Project, IIEP, which started in September 2015, and have many initiatives under it. As IIIE, peer-reviewed journals, research and development publications, and socio-economic problem-solving projects. They are registered as NGO in 5 countries: Bahrain, Slovenia, Morocco, Bosnia, and Mauritania. They have collaborated with more than 20 other countries, NGOs and colleges as partners in creating change in developing and emerging economy countries in Asia, Europe, and Africa. Both IIIE and IIEP target to achieve the following: eager to create a better world for today and the future quality of life through inspiration and intrinsic powers, work on the shift towards the inspiration currency that is intrinsic within each human, organization, and society using resilience. They are unique in creating paths of mindset, labs, research projects that exploit these intrinsic powers. Radical and gradual change with minimal extrinsic resources compared to the outcome expected. I now request Dr. Mohammed Buhiji and Dr. Dunia Abdullah Ahmed to proceed ahead with the workshop. Please, the stage is yours.
Thank you. With a woman, so we'll give her all.
Okay.
أنا فاتحة لك هاي الثانية واحدة سكي ذي هاي لك تحت مفتوحة هاي أيوة آخر واحد حلو اي قاعد يعطيك ميكروفون خلينا نسوي لهم شوي بس حركة، يعني نسوي لهم حركة. تبي نسوي لهم حركة عشان يصير فريشنج اب. ها؟ Is it open? Okay. Okay, namaskar everybody. Namaskar. Okay, I want to make sure that you are awake up. I know we're taking a long time for introduction, celebration like this, but now we want to do a real workshop. And the workshop means that everybody should be involved, right? So not only listening, you should be participating, okay? To make sure that you wake up, because some of you already, I'm sure, you started to get sleepy, especially it's warm weather. So can we stand, all of us together? Can we stand? Okay. Today is Women's Day. I will not talk a lot. I promised she will talk, okay? But I want you to stand up. Can you stand up, everybody? I hope you understand our English. Okay, I'm testing that you are understanding. So I will ask you to do an exercise to get you energy, okay? To make sure that you listen to what we're saying, because our purpose is not to give a lecture or to do awareness. I'm sure that this organization is doing a great job. I heard a lot about you, and really the speakers that they have, whatever they have said, also we are doing in a different way, okay? So we don't need expertise of saying. We will want to work with you, whether you are young, like the last one, or young also as the first one, okay? All of you is young, because all of us have this spirit. This spirit is different than energy. Our youth is our spirit. So we might carry the spirit of youth, even us. I am talking about now, my age is about 56 years old. And for her age, for example, 18 years old. Okay? So it is all of us have this spirit, we're supposed to have this spirit. For that, for her and for the ladies, they talked already. They made the retirement, but still they are, they want to make a contribution. And this is what is the difference between women and men, frankly. Especially women and overall of the world. Now we have a good example with our leader here today, but still, I'm saying from my experience going through more than 25 countries, most of the projects successful for us, we have lots of failures. But most of the successful projects is with men or women, with women, unfortunately, okay? I'm talking about even our gender. Men is always, they will start something, then they will get lost. But women, usually, because she believe that this will change herself, her family, her society, they stay for a long time. And we started this in a small country called Bahrain. We're coming from Bahrain. But then it became an international project all over the world. So now we have a chance. Assam is a very rich country. I believe Assam is more rich than even Arab world. But we need now to think how to utilize this richness. Not to depend on our richness, no. To bring our intrinsic powers, okay? So I think with you now just an exercise to make sure you get ready for the workshop of Dr. Dunya, okay? So can you raise your right hand up? Okay, right hand up, left hand down, okay? Right hand up, okay, can you explain?
Yeah.
Right hand up,
What can I do?
okay, left hand down, okay? Now click with your friend near to you, like this. Okay, now I'll click with the Dunya, okay? So this is like this, okay? Clip, okay? Clip, no, just hold it.
Just
Hold that, clip, okay? Yes, okay? Don't make like this one not allowed, huh? Why? Because this will make you fly. This you can do only with your husband. Okay, so don't do this. Don't do this like this. Okay? Okay. So repeat after me. I hope you understand our English. Okay?
বুজি পাইছে না সকলোৱে সকলো বুজি পাইছে নহয় বুজি পাইছে মোৱাটখন এনেকৈ ধৰি বাঁহতখনেৰে
Take the video. Okay.
পাইছে
Repeat after me.
আৰু ছাৰে কৈ থাকিব আপোনালোকে সেইখিনি কৈ থাকিব
Okay? Repeat after me. Okay? Alone we are weak.
Hold each other's hand.
Okay. Hold each other hand.
এনেকৈ ধৰিব এনেকৈ ধৰিব
You come here, brother. You come here.
আমি
Come here.
এনেকে ধৰিব ওচৰত বাহঁতখন ওচৰত জইন হ'ব ইজনে ইজনৰ
This one like this.
ইজনে ইজনৰ লগত জইন হ'ব
Yeah, okay. Alone we are weak. Repeat after me.
এলন
Yeah, repeat after me. Like this. Okay. Alone we are weak.
এলন উইথ
No, I repeat again. Okay. Speak from your stomach. Okay.
You
My
said
stomach
what?
is bigger than yours. I know, but still you can do your exercise. Okay. Alone we are weak.
Alone we are weak.
Together we are strong.
together we are strong
We shall work together.
we shall work together
Put the hand like this, okay? We shall work together
We shall work together
as a family,
as a family
in mutual trust,
and use trust
and mutual trust
and mutual trust
and responsibility.
and responsibility.
My opinion
My opinion
is of no importance.
is of no
The
importance.
only thing of importance
the only thing is important
is the reality
Is the reality
for women in Assam.
for women in Assam
We shall change it
we shall change
with teamwork,
with teamwork
working for the women of Assam.
Working for the women of
It's
Assam.
all about teamwork.
It's all about
teamwork.
Help teamwork. Help Assam. Help women Assam. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Paul, you'll take care of this or I should?
Another. Then we try to improve things proved towards socio-economy that we are talking about. Then we are talking about knowledge economy and innovation economy that your country, India, is one of the leading countries about. And then now people are talking more about behavioral economics and how through changing the behavioral economic you can change the whole society, the socio-economy things will be changed, and it can pull all the other economy towards it, but it's getting us out of the capital economy that we are used of.
বেলেগ বেলেগ অৰ্থনীতি আছে যেনেকৈ কেপিটেল বা ছ'চিয়েল ইকনমি কিন্তু আমি তাৰ মাজত এতিয়া যোনটো চবচে বেছি হৈছে বিহেভিয়াৰেল ইকনমি আমি আমাৰ আচৰণ ব্যৱহাৰ আমি কেনেকৈ কৰোঁ সেইটোৰ মাজেদি আমি বহুত নিজকে চেঞ্জ কৰিব পাৰোঁ বা ছ'চাইটিক আমি চেঞ্জ কৰি লাহেকৈ আগবাঢ়ি যাব পাৰোঁ
And this behavioral economy maybe only started to be recognized. It was always there, but recognized and written in the world maybe only from 3 years before. And you can see the last Nobel Prizes in the economy was mostly because of their contribution toward this behavioral economy part.
ব্যৱহাৰ আমাৰ আগৰ পৰাই আছিলে কিন্তু আমি এতিয়াহে সেইবিলাকৰ ওপৰত লাহেকৈ অধ্যয়ন কৰা আৰম্ভ কৰিছোঁ আৰু সেই অধ্যয়নটো এতিয়া যিমান বেছি আগবাঢ়ি যাব আমি নিজকে সিমান বেছি আগুৱাই নিবলৈ সক্ষম হ'ম
And also when we talk about a lot now, the nowadays words are talking about more about sharing economy that's growing up. For example, I can see since I came to India, I can see lots of Uber cars. So these are all talking about sharing economy. That I think India was always rich about, but it was not well utilized, well written. When they moved toward capital economy, you lost lots of economy. Now going back to sharing economy after that, the Western has proven that this sharing economy is going to contribute more to the society.
বৰ্তমান এটা আহিছে শ্বেয়াৰিং ইকনমি আমি যোনটো ইজন
Upper example, we like
Uber.
upper taxi.
ফৰ এক্সাম্পলৰ মাজত আমি যেনেকৈ এতিয়া উবৰ বহুত ইউজ কৰোঁ আমি উবৰ নোহোৱাকৈ ক'লৈকো যাব নোৱাৰা হৈ গৈছেগৈ তেনেকুৱা এইবিলাক এটা এক্সাম্পল অফ শ্বেয়াৰিং ইকনমি ভাগ বতৰা
Okay. So now, we are talking about, I'm going to talk now about the real part about women empowerment and inspiration economy. I just put here a say from Mahatma Gandhi. So, and of course you will understand this more than me. You can read it.
মাইকী মানুহক সদায় অবলা বুলি কয় কিন্তু আমি এতিয়া সবল হ'ব পাৰিম আমি নিজকে দুৰ্বল বুলি নাভাবি আমি নিজকে ষ্ট্ৰং বুলি ভাবিব পাৰোঁ
Okay, because so I think it's from Abala to Sabala. I say it right. Okay, so yes, here how women are more developed. And what I want to say that lots of the studies and countries and regions that they work through empowerment, that we really worked in it, but there's no studies showed that women empowerment will always lead to development. Because sometimes it's like when you give a lot of care of your child and baby and you always try to over pamper him, okay, there's no result that shows going to be a stronger child. Sometimes when you let him use his intrinsic power and you teach him how to do his stuff, is going to be a stronger child. So this is the same thing. I'm not saying that always empowerment will not lead to development, but not always it's going to lead. So there are some cases that empowerment in some stages will be helpful, like we do in lots of other things. It's like when we teach ourselves the basic skills, we need always empowerment to learn it. But then the most important is to change our skills to be lifelong learners, so we develop by ourselves. So we don't depend on empowerment always. Because if I depend on empowerment, that means in each stage of my life, even after I become a professor or more and more, I will always be looking for empowerment. So there should be a stage that we stop empowerment and we work towards development.
আমি empowerment হলাই যে আপোনাক ডেভেলপমেন্টৰ ফালে নিব হেতু নহয় এম্পাৱাৰ হ'ব লাগে আমি যেনেকৈ নিজকে বাচ্চা এটা যদি আমি এক্সাম্পল দিওঁ বহুত বেছি কেয়াৰ লওঁ বা হেৰি কৰোঁ সেইটো নহয় যে কি বহুত সবল আৰু শক্তিশালী হ'ব কেতিয়াবা তাক নিজে নিজে শিকিব দিব লাগে সেইটো সময়ত সি নিজে গম পাব তাৰ নিজৰ বিবেকহীনতাটো বেছি বাঢ়িব তেতিয়া সি বেছি আগবাঢ়ি যাব আমি সেই কথা মনত ৰাখি পিনি নিজকে আগবঢ়াই নিবলৈ চেষ্টা কৰিব লাগে
Okay, so there are types of empowerment that it's always there, we will always need it, it will be there that we want it, like providing education, financial independency, to be in jobs, like breaking the glass ceiling that she was talking about in her previous presentation, how it's important to break the glass ceiling, job seeker opportunities are, and make people job seekers. It's always type of empowerment that we are talking about. But an example of development is about women leading the socio-economy, women being in higher dependency ratio, less depending on resources, and to be a job creator, and she finds to create jobs for other people in the country rather than being a job seeker.
আমি নিজকে সবল কৰিবৰ কাৰণে আমি বেলেগ বেলেগ ফিল্ডত অৱতৰণ কৰিব লাগিব যোনটো এটা ষ্টেৰিঅ'টাইপ আমাক দিয়া গৈছে সেইখিনি আমি ভাঙি তুলিব লাগিব দ্যাট ইজ হোৱাট উই মেণ্ট বাই দ্য ব্ৰেকিং দ্য গ্লাছ চিলিং যোনটো অলৰেডি পিংকি মেমে কৈ গৈছিলে আৰু আমি যিমান পাৰোঁ নিজৰ ক্ষমতা দি আগুৱাই যাব লাগিব
Doing change. It's doing change in the society.
She changed the society.
আমি সামাজিক পৰিৱৰ্তন আনিবলৈ পাৰিম
And she have more choices of quality of life.
Okay.
More choices for quality of life. More choices of life.
More choices.
আমি যেতিয়া নিজৰ বেছি গুণখিনি বেছি আগুৱাই নিজকে নিজৰ গুণখিনি মানে আমি কোৱালিটিখিনি মানে বেছি বঢ়াব পাৰিম
Okay. Now about how we transfer ourselves from women empowerment versus women development. I'm talking here about 3 circles where we focus on the things and we see the human like in the second circle, while ideas, you can see it's very far and outside of the circle, it's like in the third circle in one corner. The more we move toward women development, we can see the human is in the middle, the things comes on the second line, and then the ideas are still a little bit far. The more we move more about developments, the ideas are here and the humans are in the second line, and the things become like external things. We will not depend on the external empowerment because it's going to be in our third line. We are going to focus more on our ideas, women, and then the things.
তিনিটা চাৰ্কেলৰ মাজত দেখুওৱা গৈছে আমি প্ৰথম এতিয়া বস্তুক বেছি ইম্পৰ্টেঞ্চ দিওঁ তাৰপিছত মানুহক তাৰপিছত আমাৰ আইডিয়াছবিলাকক কিন্তু আমি যিহেতু লাহেকৈ এম্পাৱাৰমেণ্টৰ ফালে যাম আমি তেতিয়া মানুহক বেছি গুৰুত্ব দিম তাৰপিছত বস্তুক তাৰপিছত আইডিয়াজক কিন্তু যেতিয়া আমি ডেভেলপমেণ্ট হ'ম আমি ডেভেলপ হৈ যাম তেতিয়া আমি আইডিয়াজক বেছি ইম্পৰ্টেঞ্চ দিম তাৰপিছত আপুনি মানুহক আৰু ফাইনেলি আপুনি বস্তুক ইম্পৰ্টেঞ্চ দিব চ' মেইন ইম্পৰ্টেণ্টটো হ'ল আপোনালোকৰ আইডিয়াটো
Okay. And when we talk about ideas, we mean ideas that we implement, not only ideas that we dream of and we sleep of, because there are lots of ideas in all of us, but it's mean ideas that we are going to always observe, reflect, pause, and work in it, not only think about it.
আইডিয়াছ বুলিলে আমি যোনখিনি কাম প্ৰতিফলিত কৰোঁ সেইখিনিহে বুজাইছে যোনটো আমি মনৰ ভাৱত ভাবোঁ আমি বহুত কথাই ভাবোঁ সেইখিনি নহয় আমি যোনটো হাতে কামে লাগি যাওঁ সেইটোহে আইডিয়া আমি মিল কৰিছোঁ এইটোৰ
Okay. So, and here where we think about, it's like a picture showing the difference between empowerment and mindset empowerment and the more advancement and development. And the mindset of empowerment, we will always like someone to empower us. It's like we always need the water. The day you are going to close this pipe of water, I'll start crying because otherwise empowerment have left and I'll be in the same situation that I was before empowering me. Because I was always used to have this water or the empowerment on me. You want to translate this?
এম্পাৱাৰমেণ্টৰ আমি কি হয় আমি এনেকুৱা পিকচাৰটোৰ পৰা গম পাইছে যে আমাক সদায় পানী দি থাকিব লাগিব যিটো সময়ত পানী শেষ হৈ গ'ল তেতিয়া মানে আমি আকৌ পুৰণা অৱস্থালৈ গুচি যাম কিন্তু সেইটো হ'বগৈ নালাগে
Pani as an example. Yes.
It is just এটা এক্সাম্পল হিচাপে
Okay. The more we work toward development and advancements, then I'm going to break the way. Not only I will not wait for someone, I will crack the problems and I will break the walls. So even if it's not a ceiling wall, even if it's a wall, I will start to crack it and break the wall.
আমি যিমানে ডেভেলপমেণ্ট কৰি যাম তেতিয়া আমি আনৰ ওপৰত ডিপেণ্ডেণ্ট হৈ নাথাকিম আমি নিজে নিজৰ বান্ধোনবোৰ ভাঙি পেনি আমি আগুৱাই যাব পাৰিম যিটো আপোনাৰ ৱাল আৰু বলটোৰ থ্ৰু দি আপোনাৰ এক্সাম্পল লোক পাইছে
Okay, so maybe I'll go faster towards this. So here are the 3 stages that we're talking about. The level 1, it's empowering to being independent, and this is that we are, when the laser, here it's working. So it's the here when we are talking empowering for being independent, and we have some example of case studies that I will talk about later if you wish. We worked in it in Mauritania. Dr. Mohammed have worked with these women on working in camel wool. If we'll have enough time, I can talk more about it later. And then when we work toward development, and here, maybe if I talk about the examples now, it's going to be clearer. In case number 1, for empowering women for independence, it was women. They used to work in a factory. You know Mauritania, it's a desert in north of Africa, which they're very famous of type of camels that they have. So they used to take this camel wool and to make carpet from it, which you do have a lot of it here in India. And they used to have this factory, but the factory was in city. So all women used to leave their villages, leave their home, go to the factory to work in this machines. And this, of course, gives them some independency on income, but it created the other social problems. Okay, I forgot.
প্ৰথম কেছ ষ্টাডি যোনটো কথা কৈছে সেইটো কেমেল বুল সেইটো মৰিটেনিয়াৰ হয় তো মানুহবিলাক কেমেলটো আপোনাৰ হেৰি ডেজাৰ্টত থাকে কিন্তু তাৰপৰা বুল হেৰি কৰি পিনি তেওঁলোকে যাব লগা হয় যোনটো মানে উইভ কৰিবৰ কাৰণে চিটিত যাব লগা হয় কাৰণ তাতহে আপোনাৰ ফেক্টৰীটো আছিলে তো তাত আপোনালোকে হেৰি কৰি পিনি তেওঁলোকে ইণ্ডিপেণ্ডেণ্ট হৈছে কিন্তু তাৰ সেইটো প্ৰব্লেমত যিহেতু ঘৰৰ পৰা এৰি যাব লগা হয় সেইটো কাৰণে ঘৰত অকণমান ছ'চিয়েল প্ৰব্লেমছ আৰম্ভ হৈছিলে
Okay. And what was this factory? It was automated factory, and of course, because it's automated, it always need to be developed because always in terms of automation, you have this changing, and it went through a crisis, and then they had financial fund from one of the richest countries to try to develop this. What we are trying to do when we are talking about inspiration economy way of thinking is about, we say, why we go for this? Because the more you do the machines or you do it in more automated way, it's going to have the profit margins going to be less because they are very close to the European market. They don't want these automated carpets and they can't compete big markets like China or the other. The way of thinking was, let us think about it in socio-economical way. Let us go for the hand-waving machine that it was originally used in their Mauritania, and to have each waving machine in each village. So all the ladies in each village will be all the day with their family at the night. They will work in this handmade machine. It's going to bring an organic carpet, which can be sold much higher prices when you sell it to the Western country, which is their market, and it's all very close to them because they are North Africa, very close border with the European country. The only difference there that each carpet should be changed in the way the packaging is, the marketing is, and each village will write their story with the carpet. So it's not only selling the carpet, it's selling also the story of this village as well.
তাৰপিছত তেওঁলোকে হেৰি কৰি ডিচাইড কৰিলে যে যিহেতু অট'মেটেড হয় যিবোৰ ফেক্টৰিজবোৰ আছিলে সেইটো কাৰণে বাহিৰত বিচৰাখিনি বেলেগ কাম চাইনাৰ যোনখিনি প্ৰডাক্ট হয় তাৰ লগত মানে কম্পিট কৰিব নোৱাৰিলে তেওঁলোকে ডিচাইড কৰিলে যে তেওঁলোকে নিজৰ নিজৰ গাঁৱতে আকৌ হাতেদি আগতে যিটো পুৰণা ষ্টাইলত বনাইছিলে তেওঁ হাতেদিয়ে বনাব তাত তেতিয়া কি হয় আপোনাৰ ইচ কাৰ্পেট এটা ইউনিক হেৰি হয় আৰু এখন কাৰ্পেট এটা নিজৰ ষ্টৰী কয় কাৰণ আপুনি নিজৰ বোৱা হাতৰ এটা বস্তুটো আপুনি ফেক্টৰীত পোৱাৰ মাজত বহুত পাৰ্থক্য থাকে চ' সেইটো বস্তু তেওঁলোকে আৰম্ভ কৰিলে যে প্ৰত্যেক গাঁৱতে তেওঁলোকে নিজৰ ফেক্টৰী ইষ্টাব্লিছ কৰিলে হেণ্ডলুমৰ তো তেওঁলোকে সেইটো কাৰণে ফেক্টৰীত যাব লগা নহয় চিটিৰ মাজত যাব লগা ঘৰৰ কাৰণেও টাইম পাইছিলে
Why we call this level empowerment? Because on each weaving machine, the old one, we contributed a few $100s for each machine to bring it. And this was comparing for the automated factory that would have cost millions of dollars. And here where we empowered women with the very few, and it was also, even this money we've contributed, it's for the weaving machine and the wool that they will use for the first time. But after the selling, they had to bring the money back, so they found another village to have another weaving machine in another village.
So different type of
প্ৰথমৰ বাবে যোনটো মেচিনাৰী আৰু সেইখিনি ঊলখিনি কিনি পানি বনাইছিলে তাৰপিছত সেইখিনি যেতিয়া চেল কৰিলে তাৰ মাজত আকৌ কেপিটেল পালে যাতে তেওঁলোকে নেক্সট আৰু এখন ভিলেজত যাতে আকৌ এষ্টাব্লিছ কৰিব পাৰে সেইমতে তেওঁলোকে এখন ভিলেজৰ পিছত ইখন গাঁৱলৈ আগুৱাই গৈ থাকে
Okay, when I talk about women development here, I'm going to talk about case of Nahla. It's an NGO, women NGO development program in Bosnia. I mean, it's all over Bosnia. We work mainly on North Bosnia, on Bihać. Here they have lots of development empowerment program, but we try to advance them. I'll give you an example of a very strong women NGOs that they used to work. They used to get lots of funds as a women NGO to train women, as lots of women NGO get so. What they used to train them, I'll give an example, they used to teach women different languages, and they used to get lots of funds like of Germany and other countries, I don't want just to name the countries, so the women learn their skills and languages for the country. The way we measure, did they help on development of the country, empowering the country or no, here was the difference. When we evaluate their programs after 10 years, most of the women that they were taught in these, for example, language programs, they were women who migrated with their families after a few years. So there was an effort that putting with women NGOs, volunteers work is there, and they think that this is an easy win because they get an easy fund for it from an NBC, an international organization. But in the long run, it didn't help the developments of the country because all these women, after they spend all their childhood and education and help the country spend their money in their country, all these women go and migrate outside and work for other countries.
Second case study to আপোনাৰ নাহলাত কৰিছিলে তাত বসনিয়া তাত কি কৰিছিলে এখন NGO তাৰ মানুহখিনিক মানে বেলেগ ভাষা শিকাইছিলে তেতিয়া মানে কিন্তু তাৰপিছত ইন লং ৰান এইটো ইমান ছাকচেছফুল নহ'ল কাৰণ কেলে যোনে শিকি লৈছে তেওঁলোকে তো যোন লেংগুৱেজত শিকিছিলে য'ত জব পাইছিলে তেওঁলোকে তাৰ পৰা মাইগ্ৰেট কৰি দিলে তো গাঁৱত মানুহখিনি কমি গ'লগৈ তো ইন লং প্ৰথমতেতো ভাল পাইছিলে যে তেওঁলোকে ফাণ্ডছ পাইছিলে লেংগুৱেজ শিকিছিলে বাহিৰত মুভ কৰিব পাৰে মাইগ্ৰেট কৰিব পাৰিলে কিন্তু পিছলৈ গৈ চালে যে গোটেই ছ'চাইটি কিন্তু হেল্প নহ'ল কাৰণ যোনে অপশ্যনিটি পাইছে সিহঁতে ওলাই গৈছে বাকীখিনি মানুহ কিন্তু ৰৈ গ'ল
Okay, so because this was also a good and a strong NGO, we tried to work with them in the way they evaluate their program, the measure impact. It's not about how many women I trained, but the impact of women after getting training in my own society, in my own city. It's not only that I have every year and I graduate thousands of training on this NGO or my training center that they used to have.
So it's not about how much you train, it's about how the impact of your training as an organization. This applies to you also.
Organizational এইটো চাইছে কিমান মানুহ আপুনি ট্ৰেইন কৰিছে সেইটোৰ ওপৰত নাচায় কিন্তু সেইটোৱে আপোনাক কিমান প্ৰতিফল দিছে আপোনাৰ কিমান ফ্ৰুটফুল হৈছে সেইটোৰ ওপৰত বেছ কৰা গৈছে
Okay, and the third limit is about empowering for advancements. It's where it's beyond the capacity demand. Here we always give a case study of Bahrain National Plan of Women, which was very related when our Dr. Professor, she was talking about the numbers of women in parliament, ministers, and she was comparing over the years since 50s and now, how the woman was developed in terms of numbers. But we found there that it's not about when we came and reevaluate our national plan, we found ourselves that we were pushed towards measuring things that's not really affecting our society. It's not about how many women I do have in parliament, but even if I have a few, but they can make a big changes towards women, here what I want to measure. Even if I have males that are supportive towards gender equality, this I want to measure more than having a few more women getting maybe chairs because of quota or other things, but they are not going to work towards women issues. It's not about how many only women ministers that I have, but how many ministers I have that they work towards women issue, their quality of life, their lifelong learning, having a better income, not only having more single women in certain positions.
Third impact আপোনাৰ চাইছে যে গভৰ্ণমেণ্টত আপোনাৰ কিমান মানুহ women কাম কৰিছে সেইটো মেটাৰ নকৰে যে কিমান women representative গভৰ্ণমেণ্টত আছে কাৰণ যদি মতা মানুহেও women empowermentৰ কাৰণে কাম কৰে তেওঁলোকে womenক যদি সমান চকুৰে চায় তেন্তে আপোনাৰ সেই কামখিনিহে মানে চাই মানুহে আপোনাৰ মতা মানুহ হওক বা মাইকী মানুহ হওক যোনে গভৰ্ণমেণ্টত আছে সেইটো মেটাৰ নকৰে আপোনাৰ
There's time, so I talk more
case
about
studies.
case studies.
Okay, best case studies.
The case study, this is the one I talked about Mauritania, the wool.
এইটো ফটো আপোনাৰ যোনটো woolৰ কথা কৈছে প্ৰথম কেছ ষ্টাডিটোৰ কথা কৈছিলে camel wool হেৰি কৰি পেলাই যে কাৰ্পেট বনাইছিলে এইটোৰ ফটো
Yes, and this is how from each village it goes towards the second village. So the weaving machines, each one they have to bring the money and they fund the other village.
So now the factory is not the factory. The factory became the villages. And the factory buy from
the villages. And the main factory now is the marketing place. The one used to be in the city.
এইটোৱে আপোনাৰ চাৰ্কলটো দেখুৱাইছে এখন গাঁৱৰ পৰা কেনেকৈ ইখন গাঁৱলৈ মানুহ যায় আৰু কেনেকৈ মানে সিহঁতে ফেক্টৰীটো ডেভেলপ কৰিছে ফেক্টৰী এজ এ চেণ্ট নহয় এই গাঁওখনৰ পৰাই বস্তু প্ৰডিউচ হয় আৰু গাঁওখনৰ পৰাই বস্তু চেল হয়
Okay, and maybe here is the...
And the most important, this way, is not direct empowerment. They have to return back the money after they make a profit.
আৰু ইয়াত আপোনাৰ এম্পাৱাৰমেণ্ট এনেকুৱা ধৰণৰ হয় যে হেৰি লৈ পিনি হেৰি কৰিব নোৱাৰে কাৰণ ইজনে সিজনক হেল্প কৰি যাব লাগিব বস্তুটো দেখিলে চাৰ্কুলত ঘূৰি আছে ইজনে সিজনক হেল্প কৰি আছে অকল এজন বেনিফিটেড নহয় গোটেইবোৰে বেনিফিটেড হয়
But with no interest, of course.
কিন্তু কাৰো নিজৰ ইণ্টাৰেষ্ট চাৰ্ভ নহয় কিন্তু চবৰে নিজৰ হেল্প হয়গে
Okay, so from this case study I'm going to say, and as in India, as I started, you have lots of richnesses in everything you have, in terms of different things, and even in your population, you are one of the richest country because you do have lots of youth, you have lots of new generations coming, you have like a balanced male-female population, which is again, it is one of the richnesses. But one of the things is that you do have here, the people who are below, the children and the elderly people, these are mostly people who depend always in women.
ইয়াৰ পিকচাৰটো চাব তলত আপোনাৰ সৰু বাচ্চা হয় ওপৰলৈ যিমান গৈ বয়সটো বাঢ়ি গৈ থাকে আৰু এই ওপৰৰ লেভেলত চাব এইবিলাক মানুহ সদায় womenৰ ওপৰত ডিপেণ্ডেণ্ট হয়
So here where we have the age of woman that she got stretched and she either be dependent or independent. This is how the way you can do your program to increase the ability of women in this pyramid. So because even the men here and here are in need of her. The more they know that they are in need of her, she's going to be more independent and you will work more toward development of women.
এই মাজৰ ছেকশ্যনটোৱে বেছি ভালকৈ কাম কৰি যাব লাগিব নিজৰ ডেভেলপমেণ্টটো ট্ৰাই কৰিব লাগিব কাৰণ বাকী দুটা ছেকশ্যনৰ মতাই হওক বা মাইকী মানুহৰ ওপৰতে ডিপেণ্ডেণ্ট হয় ল'ৰা বাচ্চাও চব বাচ্চাই আপোনাৰ মাৰ ওপৰতে ডিপেণ্ডেণ্ট হ'ব আৰু ঘৰৰ বয়োজ্যেষ্ঠ মানুহবিলাকেও মাইকী মানুহৰ ওপৰতে ডিপেণ্ডেণ্ট হ'ব
Okay, and now I'll let Dr. Mohammed continue. So it will not be always women talking about women.
Okay, I think you are tired, so for that we want to shorten the presentation and start to ask you. Do you have any questions so far? Because if you don't have questions, means we are wasting your time and our time. I want to hear questions. Okay. Again, the purpose is not to let you present for you. Okay, you have lots of expertise. Indians, I was telling your TV, we learn from Indians. So we cannot teach you, you teach us. Okay? The only difference between me and you, me personally, you, and even me and Dr. Dunya, is how many projects, success stories we make. The more we try, and how many failures. because failure will teach us to create success stories. The more we fail in life, the more we'll become like Oprah, Steve Jobs, Mandela, Indira Gandhi, and over. It's these people who you put today, the inspiring ladies, they didn't come by coincidence. I'm sure they had many failures till they became successful.
সদায় ফেইলিয়ৰ পৰা ছাকসেছ হয় যিমান আমি ফেইলিয়ৰ কৰিম তেতিয়া গম পাম আমি কোনখিনি নকৰিলে আমি ছাকসেছ আচিভ কৰিব পাৰিম
Okay, so I want to hear from you if you have any questions. Any questions? You must have questions. Otherwise, we cannot continue.
Please, questions?
Yeah. What type of projects you think we can do with you? Okay. What type of projects based on whatever we talked today? We said we want to bring projects relevant that you help yourself and your society. So what type of projects you think we can work with you?
এনেকুৱা কিবা প্ৰজেক্ট আছে নেকি আপোনালোকৰ সাজেশনস যোনটো আমি একেলগে কাম কৰিব পাৰো It's open for the audienceৰ পৰা জানিব বিচাৰিছো
Usually the girls before women they start some ideas. What type of projects you think?
আপোনালোকে অসমীয়াত সুধিবলৈ ভয় নকৰিব আপোনালোকে অসমীয়াতে সুধিব পাৰে কাৰোবাৰ কিবা জানিব মন আছে নেকি বা নিজৰ মনত কিবা প্ৰজেক্ট আছে নেকি যোনটো ক'ব বিচাৰিছে যে তেওঁলোকে কিবা হেল্প ল'ব পাৰিব তেওঁলোকে আপোনালোকক কিবা আৰু আগবাঢ়ি যাবৰ কাৰণে হেল্প কৰিব পাৰিব এনেকুৱা কিবা আছে নেকি কাৰোবাৰ
Okay, I'm sure in your village or your city or in your maybe neighborhood you have you've seen if you don't need these projects I'm sure other people need it. So what type of projects you think other people need it? You see them every day. For example, we started a project with waste pickers. Okay, lots of waste pickers women. They're working for waste pickers. Now you know the government is now trying to institutionalize this thing to become more organized, right? So what will happen to these people? There are millions of them in India. Unless we bring some jobs to them and train them, they'll be out of jobs, right? So what we can do about that? And lots of things. So I think about our projects relevant. If you don't need it, at least it's important for your area. Okay? There is lots of women that have high skills, but they are what trying to do? They are selling their products in their neighborhood. So they'll end up getting very small profit margin.
এনেকুৱা কিছুমান প্ৰজেক্ট আছে আপোনাৰ নহলিব সোসাইটিক দৰকাৰ হ'ব পাৰে নেকি যেটো আপোনালোকে ভাবে কাৰণ বহুতে এতিয়া নিজৰ প্ৰজেক্টছবোৰ বহুবোৰ অকমান একদম সৰু প্ৰফিট মাৰ্জিনৰ মাজত হেৰি কৰি আছে যেটো আপুনি আৰু অকমান আগবঢ়াই পিনে বেছি ডাঙৰ কৰিব বিচাৰিছে তেনেকুৱা ধৰণৰ আপোনাৰ কিবা প্ৰজেক্ট মনত আছে নেকি বা আপোনাৰ মনলৈ আহিছে নেকি
So maybe one of the ideas of the projects is either women that are producing good products but they don't know how to sell it. We can help you on that. And it can be, by the way, with the collaboration of youth in the colleges. Okay? We will always try to help you in finishing something. If you are a good producer, then we'll take your product, package it, and try to sell it outside through your NGO. Okay? If you are not, you are not producing something, we'll try to make you produce through others and collaborate through others. Because always, by the way, as I said, alone we are weak, together we are strong. Okay? So only when we work together, we can create a change. So we don't need to depend a lot of money and people help us. We want to be more, independent, not dependent on others.
Sonapur Foundation, মই Sonapur Foundation তিনজন লিডাৰ মই আগলৈ আহিব বিচাৰিছো তেওঁলোক আগলৈ আহক আৰু আপোনালোকে কওক যে কেনেকুৱা ধৰণৰ প্ৰজেক্ট কৰিব পাৰে কাৰণ আপোনালোকে এডোলেসেন্স এম্পাৱাৰমেণ্টৰ কাৰণে বহুতখিনি কাম কৰি আছে নেক্সট আমাৰ স্পিকাৰখিনি যোনখিনি আমাৰ লেডিজ স্পিকাৰ আছে মই তেওঁলোকক ৰিকুৱেষ্ট কৰিছো যে কেনেকুৱা ধৰণৰ প্ৰজেক্ট আমি ইয়াত কৰিব পাৰো তো আপোনালোকে শ্বেয়াৰ কৰক ঠিক আছে
Okay, and for example, I'm sure in the mountains, I'm sure there were tribal people in the mountains, tribal women in the mountains. We've seen, for example, in certain mountains in Morocco, there are lots of tribal women, they have very good skills, okay? But they can't sell their products. So this is where we need to help them. Not to give them money, and no, to help them to become more independent by developing their product, packaging their product, trying to sell their products in the right place. Okay? Yes. Okay. You can translate? Yes.
And why men translate for men and women for women?
Can I explain message?
Yes, please. Go ahead.
প্ৰথমতে মই আমাৰ সোণাপুৰ সামাজিক উন্নয়ন সমিতিৰ তৰফৰ পৰা আপোনালোক সকলোকে আন্তৰিক শ্ৰদ্ধা লৈ প্ৰণাম জনাইছোঁ
আমি এটা নন প্ৰফিট অৰ্গেনাইজেশ্যন 2007 চনৰ পৰা আমি ছ'চাইটিৰ লগত ইনভলভ হৈ আছোঁ আৰু বৰ্তমান প্ৰথম অৱস্থাত আমি কি কৰিছিলোঁ এডুকেশ্যনৰ লগতে আছিলোঁ ইনভলভ এতিয়া বৰ্তমান লাহে লাহে প্ৰতিটো ক্ষেত্ৰতে ইনভলভ হৈছোঁ এতিয়া 2017 চনৰ পৰা আমি এডলচেণ্ট এম্পাৱাৰমেণ্টৰ ওপৰত অলপ বেছিকৈ স্পেচিয়েলাইজ কৰিছোঁ বিশেষকৈ ছোৱালীৰ ক্ষেত্ৰত আমি দেখিছোঁ মানে সমাজবিলাকত কেনেকৈ মহিলাসকল পিছ পৰি আছে কিদৰে তেওঁলোক ডমিনেটেড হৈ আছে এতিয়া মই সৰু এটা উদাহৰণ দিব বিচাৰোঁ আমি ইয়াতে প্ৰায়বিলাক মহিলাসকল আছে মই এটা সৰু উদাহৰণে আপোনালোকক বুজাব বিচাৰিছোঁ যেতিয়া ওচৰৰ মানুহ ঘৰে আপোনালোকৰ ঘৰলৈ কিবা এটা বস্তু বিচাৰি যায় তেতিয়া আপোনালোকে কি কৰে মানুহজন ঘৰত নাই মানুহজন আহিলেহে ক'ব পাৰিম ইয়াৰ অৰ্থটো কি হ'ল মানে আমি এতিয়াও তলৰ কাবাৰ তলত চলি আছোঁ ছোৱালীবিলাকৰ ক্ষেত্ৰত কেনেকৈ হৈছে চাওক যেতিয়া আমাৰ প্ৰত্যেকৰে উৎসৱ আছে বহাগ বিহু আছে প্ৰত্যেকৰে নিজৰ নিজৰ কিছুমান উৎসৱ আছে কিবা কাৰণত ঘৰত টকা পইচাৰ অভাৱ হ'ল আমি প্ৰত্যেকেই বিহুত নতুন নতুন বস্তু লওঁ যেতিয়া অভাৱ হ'ল কি কৰোঁ ছোৱালীজনীক নিদি ল'ৰাটোক দিওঁ ইয়াৰ অৰ্থটো কি মানে আমি এতিয়াও ডিছক্ৰিমিনেশ্যন চলি আছে আমাৰ মাজত এতিয়া আমি ছোৱালীবিলাক ইনক্লুডেড হৈ আছে আৰু সেইটো কাৰণে আমি সোণাপুৰ এনজিঅ'ই কি কৰিছোঁ এইখিনি সমাজৰ পৰা নাইকিয়া কৰিব কাৰণে চেষ্টা কৰিছোঁ আমি বিভিন্ন ধৰণৰ এক্টিভিটিজ কৰিছোঁ সমাজত কমিউনিটিৰ লগত আৰু এডলচেণ্টৰ মানে গাৰ্লছৰ লগত আমি তাৰে মই বৰ বেছি দীঘলকৈ ক'ব বিচৰা নাই খুব কম কথাৰ মাজতে বুজাব বিচাৰিছোঁ আমি কি কৰিছোঁ সমাজবিলাকত কিছুমান শিশু সুৰক্ষা সমিতি গঠন কৰিছোঁ যাতে সেই ছোৱালীবিলাকক সিহঁতে চাব পাৰে কিছুমান পেৰেণ্টছ গ্ৰুপ গঠন কৰিছোঁ যাতে সেইখিনি চাব পাৰে আৰু ছোৱালীবিলাকক কি কৰিছোঁ গাঁওখনৰ যিখিনি ছোৱালী আছে তেওঁলোকক লগ লগাই সপ্তাহত এদিনকৈ ক্লাছ দিয়াৰ ব্যৱস্থা কৰিছোঁ কিয় কৰিছোঁ আমাৰ সমাজত এতিয়াও তেওঁলোক বহুত নিৰ্যাতনত পৰি আছে বহুত শোষণত পৰি আছে কেনেকৈ চাওক আমি 16 চনৰ পৰা এই 3 বছৰত 80খনতকৈ ওপৰ চাইল্ড মেৰেজ ৰখাইছোঁ মানে ছল্ভ কৰিছোঁ আৰু তেনেদৰে বহুতো এনেকুৱা ট্ৰেফিকিং কেছ আমি ৰখাবলৈ সক্ষম হৈছোঁ সেই ফালৰ পৰা যদি চাওঁ আমি আজি প্ৰযুক্তিবিদ্যাৰ কিমান ওপৰত কিন্তু আমাৰ চ'চবিলাক চাওক কিমানখিনি তলত পৰি আছে আৰু সেইখিনি আমি আঁতৰাবলৈ চেষ্টা কৰি আহিছোঁ আৰু এইডোখৰতে মই দীঘল নকৰোঁ এটাই কথা কওঁ আমি যদিও কৰি আছোঁ সফল হৈছোঁ তথাপি আপোনালোকৰ সহযোগিতাৰ প্ৰয়োজন আছে আমাৰ সোণাপুৰ এনজিঅ'ৰ ফালৰ পৰা আপোনালোকক সকলোলৈকে ৱেলকাম কৰিছোঁ যাতে আপোনালোকেও আমাৰ সহায় সহযোগিতাৰ আমি এইখিনি কৰিব পাৰোঁ কাৰণ আজি পৃথিৱীখন এখন ঘৰ হৈছে এখন সমাজ হৈছে এখন ছ'চাইটি হৈছে আৰু এই ছ'চাইটিখনক আমি কি কৰিব লাগিব সুৰক্ষা দি ৰাখিব লাগিব আমি সকলোৰে ইয়াৰ এগেইনষ্টত মাত মাতিব লাগিব আৰু সেইটো কাৰণে আমি আপোনালোক সকলোকে ৱেলকাম কৰিছোঁ আৰু ইমানখিনিয়ে কৈ মই আৰু প্ৰজেক্টৰ কথা ছাৰে সুধিছিল বিশেষকৈ ক'লোৱে যে ছোৱালীখিনি এতিয়াও বহুত পিছ পৰি আছে তাৰ কাৰণে এডলচেণ্ট এম্পাৱাৰমেণ্টৰ প্ৰজেক্টৰ প্ৰয়োজন আছে লগতে আৰু এটা কথা ক'বলৈ পাহৰি গৈছোঁ আমাৰ সমাজত এতিয়াও আমি বিশেষকৈ তাৰ মাজতে আৰু কথা এটা কৈ থৈ যাওঁ আমি বৰ্তমান 20খন ভিলেজ আৰু 132খন গাঁৱত কাম কৰি আছোঁ আৰু তাত দেখিছোঁ প্ৰায় 20% কি হৈছে তাত এডলচেণ্ট কি হৈছে ড্ৰপ আউট হৈ আছে আৰু সেইখিনি যাতে এম্পাৱাৰ কৰিব পাৰি তাৰ কাৰণে প্ৰজেক্টৰ প্ৰয়োজন আছে কাৰণ তেওঁলোকো এতিয়া বৰ্তমান কি কৰিছোঁ আমি প্ৰত্যেকে এখন হাতে কাম কৰি আছোঁ কাৰণ কিয় ক'ব বিচাৰিছোঁ মই কাৰণ মেল ডমিনেটেড আমি পুৰুষসকলে কাম কৰি আছে যেতিয়া দুইখন হাতে কাম কৰিব তেতিয়া কি হ'ব ঘৰখন বহুখিনি উন্নতি হ'ব ঘৰখন উন্নতি হ'ব মানে কি আমাৰ দেশখন উন্নতি আৰু দেশখন উন্নতি হ'লে গোটেই পৃথিৱীখন উন্নতি হ'ব আৰু এইখিনি আমি আশাবাদী থেংক ইউ
Okay, shall I continue?
No, we have appointed speakers. Speakers from different universities of Assam. So first, Minari Swami. Share something that how can we do some projects so we can install in Assam.
Namaskar, I'm Minari Swami. I'm a student of Assam Institute of Management. So Assam is rich in agricultural sector and also. Assam is rich in agricultural sector. We have some raw materials like water hyacinth, and with that we can make teas and we can run self-help groups. And so we have to ever like this. We have many more products, but the women don't know about this. So we have to aware them, all the women, especially the countryside women. So how can we grow a self-help group?
There is a good example of this. There is by the way, Bosnia is a very rich country, similar to you, virgin country. I mean, like it's not well utilized. Okay, they have neighboring countries who are very rich, but Bosnians are very poor. Okay, and lots of women, as Dr. Dunya was saying, they are migrating. Now, even in your youth, if they don't find opportunities and they don't see their parents, they are making family business, they will go and become job seeker. So one of the projects we started in Bosnia is about lavender. You know lavender? Okay, lavender is a type. What is in in Assam? Lavender. You know lavender?
Yes.
What is it in Assam language? It's a type of plant that brings good smell, perfume.
Yes.
Translate. Yeah. So a type of perfume-related plant.
Agar.
Okay. So can you just translate? Translate a type of perfume-related plant.
এনেকুৱা প্লান্ট হয় যোনটোৰ পৰা আপোনাৰ দুগন্ধ ওলাব পাৰি পাৰফিউম অগৰু যেনেকৈ তেনেকুৱা ধৰণৰ
We have night jasmine. That is Assamese we call Hawali Phul.
I know.
And
I know. I'm just trying to trigger you. Okay. Now lots of your products, Dr. Dunya was talking yesterday also. Lots of your products are taken here by European companies, right? And they are taken and they are sold either from Indian mediators, but they are sold where? In Paris, or sold in Arab countries or in America. The profit margin for the lady who's collecting this plant may be what? Maybe few rupees. But the profit margin for this who's selling in America or in Paris or an Arab country is making hundreds of thousands of dollars. Okay? What is happening? Because we don't have what we call it high-end product. So what she's saying is excellent idea to start with. We should look, for example, for type of plantation that we can focus on, and we can help the ladies there who's working in plantation to buy it from them at higher price. And they will see the process of how we are going to sell it. I'm not talking about me, but you guys, and we'll help you on that, okay? And then how we package it, and then how we sell it. And with each, by the way, plantation we will take and collect from this product, we'll put the story of the lady. So this will add value added product.
এটা প্ৰজেক্টৰ তেখেতে কথা কৈছে যেনেকৈ আপোনাৰ এতিয়া পাৰফিউমৰ কথা ইয়াৰ পৰা যোনবিলাক আমাৰ বেছিভাগ হেৰি হয় আমেৰিকান বেছ বা ইউৰোপিয়ান বেছ কোম্পানীজে আমাৰ পৰা বস্তুখিনি লৈ যায় আৰু আমাৰ যোনটো প্ৰফিট মাৰ্জিন থাকে সেইটো বহুত কম থাকে তেওঁলোকে একেখিনি বস্তুৱে বাহিৰত গৈ পিনি বহুত বেছি দামত বিক্ৰী কৰে তো সেইটোৰ কথা তেওঁলোকে কৈছে যে আমি সেইটো নিজে নকৰোঁ কেলে সেই মাৰ্কেটটো তেওঁলোকক দিয়াতকৈ আমি নিজে কেলে কেপচাৰ নকৰোঁ সেই এইখিনি বস্তু আমি নিজে কিনি পেলাই নিজে মাৰ্কেটিং কৰি নিজে পেকেজিং কৰিম আৰু সেই একেকৈ পেকেজৰ লগত যোনখিনি মানুহ তাৰ লগত ৰিলেটেড হৈ আছে আমি তেওঁলোকৰ ষ্টৰিটো পেকেজত দিম সেইটো কি হ'ব এটা ভেলু এডেড প্ৰজেক্ট হৈ যাব কাৰণ আপোনাৰ লগতে সেই বস্তুখিনি বিক্ৰী হৈছে প্লাছ নিজৰ ষ্টৰিটোও কোৱা হৈছে সেইমতে আমি নিজকে আমাৰ এডভাৰটাইজ বুলি কৈছোঁ মই এইটো ৱৰ্ডটো এডভাৰটাইজ কৰিবৰ কাৰণে আমি চান্স পাম
For example, here, these pictures that I captured about Assam and how they are rich. You have the rice, you have this animal that of course, you are very famous with, and if it's going to be utilized, their skin and products and bags, and this is going to take you to very, very, very high-end products. You have the flour that can be transferred to lots of perfumes, cosmetics, and all over. The wood is really very expensive, and this can be sold easily. I know there are lots of high-end products that it's sold by Assam name, but it's written like made in Switzerland or made in France, lots of cosmetics, but they tell you that the product is originally from Assam. But who's making the profit margin? It's the company that has the brand. I can buy Ahmed tea that it's made of England, but it's written, it's Assam tea or Darjeeling tea. But why I'm buying it? Because it's written made in England, because I can't find an Assam tea, made in Assam, that it's well marketed in other countries, or even when it comes to cans. So here where you transfer a normal organic project to very high-end projects, and here where the profit margin goes. I mean, when you work in farming, becomes employee or gets day-to-day income, but it's not getting you to go from a level to a level.
এই পিকচাৰ কেইটাৰ থ্ৰুদি তেওঁলোকে বুজাইছে যে এইখিনি বস্তুৱে আছামৰ হয়, লেবেলিংটো লিখা আছে যে ফ্ৰম আছাম, কিন্তু বনোৱা গৈছে মেড ইন ছুইজাৰলেণ্ড বা বেলেগ কাইণ্ডৰ। তেওঁলোকে কৈছে এইখিনি বস্তু যেতিয়া কিনে তেওঁলোকে অসমৰ পৰা কেলৈ কিনিব নোৱাৰে, ৱাই নট মেড ইন আছাম বা তেনেকুৱা ধৰণৰ লেবেলিং, কাৰণ সেইখিনি লেবেলিংখিনি বাহিৰৰ কাণ্ট্ৰিয়ে কিনি লৈছে। আমি নিজৰ ফালৰ পৰা আমি এনেকুৱা প্ৰডাক্ট ওলোৱা নাই যোনটোৱে তেওঁলোকৰ লগত সেইটো একেখিনি হেৰি কৰিব পাৰিব। আমি যেতিয়া নিজে সেইখিনি প্ৰজেক্ট নিজে লৈ পেলাই নিজে এনেকুৱা ধৰণৰ বস্তু প্ৰডিউচ কৰিম, তেতিয়া আমি সেই মাৰ্কেটটো আমি কেপচাৰ কৰিব পাৰিম আৰু সেইটোৰ থ্ৰুদি আমাৰ প্ৰফিটটো আমি বঢ়াব পাৰিম।
Did you hear about a city called Dubai? How many of you know Dubai?
Dubai বিষয়ে কোনে জানে?
See how most of us know Dubai, right? Also most of us, believe it or not, know Assam. Okay, I was telling people I'm going to Assam. Oh, that's very beautiful city, very nice, like this. Okay, so Assam is a brand. It's up to you to use it. If you don't use it, other people are using it. They are putting it in as a trademark, in in creams, and tea bags, and lots of things, even in dresses. So it's up to you to use it, and let us use that brand. You should be proud. You are living in Assam. This itself, it's a profit margin. It will raise your profit margin.
আমি ডুবাইৰ কথা চবেই শুনিছোঁ, তাতো বহুতে আমাৰ অসমৰ কথা শুনিছে। তো আমি সেই অসমটো আমি নিজৰ লেবেল হিচাপে কেলৈ নলওঁ? উই আৰ প্ৰাউড টু বি আছামিজ। আমি সেই নিজৰ বস্তু নিজেই প্ৰডিউচ কৰি আমি বাহিৰৰ মাৰ্কেট আমি নিজে কেলৈ কেপচাৰ নকৰোঁ আমাৰ নিজৰ লেবেলটো দি?
Okay, I think they telling us to stop. I know you are tired, but if you have any questions or anything, the idea again to encourage you to do projects, and we came here not to give you finance. Okay, we came here to start projects with you and to help you do lots of things maybe you thought about, but you didn't do anything about it. This is our job. This is what we do around the world. So try to use us and try to collaborate with your, of course, the leaders here, that you list down the projects, and so that we encourage us to come back. Okay, we're sitting here for 5 days, and we need to come back. I hope we come back in February. I was telling Paul, if we come back in February, we must have a projects, especially with this organization. You are now doing lots of great work on empowerment. Let's do some work more in development and in advancement. Okay, so that all of us can celebrate this success. Okay, and with women, 90% is the success story. With men, little bit. Okay, but with women, really we can make lots of success story. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir and ma'am, for such a wonderful workshop.